Hey guys, today I've got a little bit of a shorter video to show you. I did a few different smaller projects rather than one big project. You can see them right here, just 3 of them, all Star Wars themed, and I'm just going to show them all right in this video. There's not really any need for a huge introduction here. It's kind of self-explanatory, you can see them all right here, and I'm just going to go through them one by one. So we'll just start at the top right here. So this first one that we're taking a look at is Luke's lightsaber, his second one to be exact, and this little training droid up here that he uses. The lightsaber has some functionality, the training droid does not. I just wanted to add them in so it doesn't seem so bare. Lightsaber's kind of small, and I wanted to fill up some space here. So yeah, we'll just take a look at the lightsaber, I guess. You can turn it on and off with these little buttons down here. That's super small, super tiny because the lightsaber is small. So let's just turn it on. And then we can turn it back off. It's green obviously because it's his second lightsaber. About the buttons themselves, PowerPoint would have it so that if I turned it on, I would be able to turn it on again while it is already on. And so you have to disable that. You kind of have to finagle it if you know how to do that. Which you can just have it so that if you press the button, it adds an invisible square on top of it, so you can't press it again while it's already on, and then pressing the other button makes the square disappear. So that's a good way to get around that for those of you that are making PowerPoints yourselves that hopefully actually have some sort of purpose. So yeah, we can just turn it on and off, and then in the corner here I added this light switch because lightsabers are like 100 times cooler at night. So we can turn the light off and then go over and turn the lightsaber back on and off. And it looks way cooler this way. But I wanted to show it both ways, obviously, because you can't see the lightsaber itself when the lights are off. And that would be a shame, because it looks awesome. So I'm just going to play around with it a little more here. And then let's go back and take a look at the other two. So the second one is, you can see right here, an E11 blaster, which I actually had to look up. That's the name of the standard issue Stormtrooper blaster. I don't actually know if it's standard issue, but it's the one you see him with most often in the movies. And it is called an E11. Now we know. So let's take a look at it. I tried to stay as true to the originals here as possible. I ended up using a few different source images because it looked like there were a few different props for this gun. And so I took a little bit from each one and made something that used the best bits from all of them. It's obviously a bit more zoomed in than the lightsaber, so it can't be as detailed because you can notice everything a little bit more. But I think it looks great and it's about as authentic as I can make it. This one has some great functionality. I'm sure you can guess, we can shoot it. But of course, first we have to turn off the safety. Safety's first, obviously. And then we can go over to the trigger here and pull that. So there's a total of 4 things going on here when I press the trigger button. The first is that the trigger pulls back just to let you know that you have pressed it. The second is that the laser shoots out. The third is the cheesy Star Wars special effect coming from the barrel of the rifle, the explosion looking thing. And then the fourth thing is, just to finish it off, there's a little plume of smoke that comes out. And I always try to make it so that everything resets itself so you can continue to repeat things for as long as you want. I guess you could theoretically shoot this a lot faster. You don't necessarily have to wait for the animations to all finish, so we can just do this rapid fire. Doesn't look very good though. So I'm just going to toy around with this guy a little further. And then let's go back and we'll take a look at the final one. So as you can see here, the final one is a probe droid. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look. These transitions are all obviously wipes. Obviously, because we're dealing with Star Wars here, can't have enough screen wipes. Alright, so here we are, and this is the probe droid from Hoth. Empire used this on Hoth. These droids are awesome. Whenever I think of Star Wars technology, I always think of this droid first. They're gritty, they're industrial looking, they have a lot of moving parts to them, and they always look like they could be made a lot better, and I think that's what makes them so cool looking. They're also a little bit creepy. And guys, let me tell you, I wanted to add some functionality to this droid, but I just couldn't figure out a good way to do that. So instead I added this snow to the background, because obviously, like I said, we saw him on Hoth. And I think that just adds a little bit of life to this picture. The snowfall is really easy for anyone wondering. These are literally just white circles with soft edges that are animated to fly across the screen at different times, and then repeat it constantly until the end of the slide. So it's really simple stuff for anyone wondering. What I like about the probe droid itself is from far away, if you're kind of not focusing in, it looks really detailed. It looks really crazy complicated. It looks like it's full of machinery. You know, you got the scary lights going on. You got the arms dangling down, which is great because that's exactly what it should be. But you look closer, and by the way, I hate to admit this, all the details are kind of just objects, you can tell. They just go together really well in a really cohesive way. And that's kind of the trick to all of the projects that I do, is just adding enough stuff with enough shadows and enough lighting differences so that it doesn't look like just a bunch of blocks put together on top of each other. Anyways guys, that wraps it up for today. Just a few little projects that I made in the past few days that I wanted to show off. If you haven't subscribed already to my channel, I highly recommend it. I'm only getting better with these sort of things over time. I'm constantly trying to improve my videos, so you can be sure there's going to be some new content coming out for a while, and it's only going to get better as time goes on. If you like what I do, go ahead and like this video, leave a comment with any sort of comments, criticisms, or compliments. I love all of the comments you guys leave. Anyways, I'll see you next time, guys. Until next time, bye!